Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV and welcome to episode 3 of MAHREZ Watch. Now, if you don't know what MAHREZ Watch is, let me just give you a quick synopsis. Well, we were told by many hundreds of Algerian MAHREZ fans that they felt that we don't do enough or say enough about Riyad Mahrez after every game, and that we should be saying more or giving him man of the match or giving him a 10 out of 10 when we felt that he didn't deserve a 10 out of 10. So what we decided to do was to satisfy those particular supporters of Riyad Mahrez. I mean, we're supporters as City fans, but to satisfy those who felt that we weren't, doing justice to Riyad Mahrez, just himself, didn't matter about any other player, we decided to do a MAHREZ Watch. So you wanted it, we're doing it. So today is episode 3, and this is MAHREZ Watch versus Everton's game yesterday, which I was there watching it. So to start off, firstly, what I'd like to say is Riyad Mahrez, he's got an amazing close control. He's got a wonderful touch. Some of the balls that are played 30, 40, 50 yards, and he takes it down first time on his left foot. I mean, he's amazing. Absolutely amazing. My second point is the fact of, as I said in the video I did about player ratings on yesterday's game, I don't think Riyad Mahrez is a natural wide touchline winger like Pep likes, let's say, Sane and Sterling to play, hugging that touchline, pulling defenders really out wide, trying to isolate them, because I don't think he's got anywhere near the pace of Sane and Mahrez. So Sane and Sterling, sorry. So I think sometimes he gets isolated one-on-one, and certainly me and fans around me are sort of screaming, take him on. You're isolating him, there's nowhere near, and yet he doesn't. He sort of stops, comes inside, plays an easy ball back to Bernardo, or plays it back to Walker, or plays like a 1-2 and things like that, and sort of like momentum suddenly stops again. But there's no doubt in his ability. He does, obviously, he's so one-footed, he does like to come inside, and we saw a wonderful bit of skill where he went inside in the first half and took a couple of players on. Had a shot, the volley that he had, again from sort of 10, 12 yards out. He's had numerous of those this season where it's just gone straight at the keeper, either side of the keeper, and it's pretty much a goal. But there's no doubt in the quality of his left foot, because he scored 3, 4 really top class goals into the top corner. Now, is that because he's now at those times he was given that much space that he was allowed to do that, or was he playing more sort of an inside role? And I think, I said in the pre-match sort of rating for yesterday's game that I think Bernardo Silva is sort of tipping over the edge a bit, and his time maybe he needs a rest or two, because he's pretty much been played non-stop. And I'd really like Pep to maybe look at Riyad Mahrez playing in that 10 role where he's inside, because he's got such a great touch. He can go either side, even if it's on one foot, and he can play great 1-2s. Plus, he can also cut inside and shoot first time. I just think playing so far out on the wide right, he can't cut inside and beat 3, 4 players. He can't go outside and beat one, never mind 2 players. And then he's not got much of a right foot, so he's sort of limited in what he can do. But I'm not going to excuse his performance because of that. I think he still needs to contribute a little bit more, and just sometimes take a risk and go at it. And if he gets beat by the player, that's perfectly fine. But as long as he pushes defenders on backwards rather than just let them body shape themselves to make him come onto his left foot, because that seemed to what he did for the majority of the first half in particular yesterday, hence my comments about him on Twitter. But there's no doubt in his ability. This is not a hate campaign against Riyad Mahrez. This is just being objective. Now, if Riyad Mahrez had, hit 4, 5, 6, 7 wonderful crosses that, should have been, onto the head on, or should have scored, or goals from, or whatever, then of course I'm going to talk about it. But the fact is that he didn't. He took the corners, and most of his corners were to the first sort of like Everton players. And so much so that Gundogan had to take over the corners, and Gundogan's got out swinging sort of corners. So, you know, let's face it, let's be honest, he is a wonderfully technically gifted individual, and we love him. We'll love him at City to go on to be an integral part. And I've, in many videos I said, pre-season, you know, I was really excited at Riyad Mahrez signing. I thought he'd give us another dimension. And I know he's still adapting to Pep Guardiola's tactics and things. So I'm not just going to say one thing about the fact that I think he can do more in games. I'm also thinking that maybe positionally he'd be better inside. And I think now that Bernardo looks like he needs a rest, I think it'd be a perfect time for Pep Guardiola to, you know, let him loose in that position where he might affect the game a bit more. So, overall, Riyad Mahrez, for me, like many other City players, gets a 6.5. I thought he had an okay game, had a couple of chances, but overall still not as effective as I'd like him to be, I must admit. But I can see the reasons why he could be potentially more effective in this City squad. So anyway, this is Riyad Mahrez Watch, episode 3. Get your thoughts below. Try to be objective, please. You know, this is not, like I said, this is not isolating Riyad Mahrez. You wanted this. The Mahrez fans wanted us to talk about Riyad Mahrez. We're giving it you. Don't then slack us off for giving you Riyad Mahrez Watch at the end of the day. Otherwise, we just won't bother doing it. It's wasting sort of 5-10 minutes of our time. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. This is episode 3 of Mahrez Watch. Let's hope, fingers crossed, Pep looks at him and plays him against Leicester in a more inside role, and let's see him really affect the game. Anyway, we'll see you soon.